I don't know what's more confusing, learning astrology or just being a human. Moonday Musings is here to help with that. A weekly, no bullshit guide for the upcoming cosmic forecast and how you can actually use this in your real life. Hello, neighbor. Happy Monday. Happy Moonday, my friend. And welcome to the first Moonday of the month. It's me. Hello, Danny, that witch next door. If you've never been here before, hi, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for all things witchy, grounded spirituality, cosmic living, and modern witchcraft. I'll be your host today, your guide, your mentor, your spiritual bestie, if you will. And on the first Monday or moon day of the month around here in our witchy little neighborhood, we go over the cosmic energy of the month ahead. First and foremost, this is a great time to grab your planner, get your calendar pulled up. If you are able to, depending on where and when you are listening to this, of course. There are so many neighbors that have let me know they love their little first moon day of the month ritual, making quick notes and jotting down any keys that jump out to them directly in their calendar or planner as we will be going through this general cosmic overview of the month together. This is a really, really beautiful way to set yourself up to really lean into these natural seasons of our life that astrology are simply reflecting back at us. And so this is a wonderful way to get really, really present with astrology. This is a wonderful way to learn astrology and an even better way to actually apply and directly use astrology. Now, if for any reason you are watching or listening to this and you're not able to do that, you're just not in a position where it's safe or you're able to physically write anything down or make note of anything, what I do highly recommend is if there's anything that I say that does really jump out at you that you want to make note of for later, I recommend either visually making note of or taking a little screenshot on your phone or your device of the timestamp wherever you are in this episode or this video, because you can always just come back to that point later. So you don't have to feel any kind of stress or urgency at all. Moon Day, my friend, Moon Day is about grabbing that favorite bevy that you have today. Mine is some piping hot, delicious creamy tea. Bengal Spice, if you're wondering. Shout out to all my Bengal Spice friends and fans out there. I mean fans of Bengal Spice, not fans of me. Oh, that's hilarious. Fans of Bengal Spice fans. But no, this is not a place for urgency and stress of any kind. Moonday Musings is really, really, truly all about chilling, taking in what the astrology is offering us and seeing where it practically applies to us in our unique journey at that time. All right, my friend. So let's not mince our words and let's dive right into the cosmic energy of this month. So June. Happy June. June 2025. June 2025 is going to bring us a couple of things. Number one, it always brings us our summer solstice, which is the beginning and first day of Cancer season here in the Northern Hemisphere. The winter solstice in December is marked by the first day of Capricorn season here in the Northern Hemisphere. For all of our wonderful Southern Hemisphere neighbors, happy upcoming winter solstice to you. Cancer season marks winter solstice in the Southern Hemisphere. Capricorn season marks summer solstice in the Southern Hemisphere. So we'll have that this month. We can be looking forward to Letha and our big, bright, beautiful, hot summer energy well on its way. We also have Jupiter moving into Cancer this month. Jupiter spends about 13 months or so, roughly around the length of a year-ish, in a sign. And so we have been in Jupiter in Gemini energy this whole past year. And this month in June will bring us our next Jupiter chapter. All right. So we've got some funsies to get into here. But first up is this coming Friday. I love this so much. Friday is Venus Day, the day that's ruled by the planet Venus. Venus is also associated with the number 6. And number 6 is the Lover's card in tarot. Now, this is a card that zodiacally belongs to Gemini. Gemini is associated with the Lover's card. However, or in addition to that, I should say, I think that it's pretty safe to say that there's lots of Venetian themes that one can pull from the Lover's card. Regardless, Venus is associated with the number, the digit 6. And this Friday, Venus Day, on 6/6, June 6th, Venus moves into its domicile sign, one of Taurus. Domicile is a astrology fancy sounding word for meaning that a planet is moving into a sign that it rules. It's considered to be at home in that sign. I always let astrology clients and students know when a planet is in its domicile or in its home sign. This is very akin to what you feel like when you're at home. What does going home physically and metaphorically look like for you? Well, for most of us, it looks like going to a place where we're really, really familiar, we're really, really comfortable. We can take our shoes off and let our hair down or take our bra off. You know what I mean? All of these cliches that are cliches because they're very true. So this is what it's like when a planet moves into its home sign. It means that the planet and all of the qualities and experiences that it represents, these areas of our life tend to function a little bit more comfortably. We feel a little bit more at home in those areas of life. And when it comes to Venus, this is the planet that rules over, yes, love and beauty, but it's the biggest and broadest sense of those terms that you in your human mind can conceptualize. This is, in my eyes, a planet of our deepest human earth values. And this is why within that umbrella falls love, beauty, relationships, the things that we have take pleasure in and joy in and have great meaning for us. These all fall under this overarching umbrella of very, very deep earth values of ours. So when Venus is at home in Taurus, we can expect and let ourselves lean into creative inspiration, joy and pleasure. And really, when it comes to the growth that this can bring us or how we can kind of benefit from this transit, is this is a beautiful time for taking stock of what we value in the most fundamental areas of our lives. There is so much in Venus because it's so associated with values that is very, very associated with practical business thinking, quite frankly. And so approaching these areas of life, maybe business and career can fall under that, of course, but everything, our personal relationships, our professional relationships, our home life, our work life, our social life, the the way that we nurture our own passions and hobbies and make time for ourselves, all these fundamental areas of our life. This is a great time for taking stock of what we value and looking at, is there anything in any of these areas that is taking away or detrimenting the value that that area of my life brings me? Venus is going to be in Taurus from Friday the 6th until July 4th, which is also very astrologically poetic, at least here in the United States, since that's Independence Day. At which time it will move into Gemini. So from now, this Friday until the first week of July, this is a beautiful time for really leaning into those things that we value most and taking stock of what is nurturing that value and what can be potentially harming it or taking away from it. Then on Sunday, June 8th, Mercury will move into Cancer. So Mercury is currently also in Gemini. There's a lot of Gemini energy right now. We're going to be shifting a lot this month out of a lot of Gemini into a lot of Cancer. Mercury will be in Cancer until June 26th. And essentially, when Mercury's in Cancer, we're a little bit more in our emotions. This is feelings first thinking and processing. Our experience and what this looks like for us, what each of our Mercury and Cancer experience looks like. Honestly, my friend, it's very heavily dependent on emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. So even if someone's chart, for example, should or does look very, very promising during Cancer transits, that does not necessarily make it so. Remember, how we embody our chart is ultimately, has the final say, especially when we're doing a little bit of foretelling like this or looking ahead. Emotional maturity and emotional intelligence plays a massively heavy role in any water season. In Cancer is our first water sign, but kind of especially in Cancer, in my eyes, in a lot of ways. Cancer being the first water sign has so much to do with our most rudimentary and basic and fundamental understanding of and tools for regulating our emotional experiences. And this is why Cancer, as a cardinal, very initiative sign, why we can see a lot of reactivity in Cancer. I would not be surprised this is a perfect example to describe it. I want you to picture at least a couple of different people with Cancer placements anywhere. Whether that's you and somebody else or a couple of people that or maybe you happen to know a celebrity or a famous person or acquaintance, I want you to think of at least a couple of people with Cancer placements. There is that emotional reactivity side of Cancer, and Cancer can have this very, very impatient reputation. Therefore, and same coin, different side. Cancer can be a well of patience and understanding. Cancer can be like a hard opposite of a reactionary. So you might have a couple of experiences in your personal life already where you can see this. Maybe you can even see both of those qualities within singular people. Maybe you can see both sides of that Cancer in yourself or somebody else that you know. This is exactly what really shapes a lot of our Cancer experiences for us. So if you're thinking about what Mercury and Cancer, kind of that chapter, looks like for you or looks like for all of us, it's very, 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 very heavily dependent on our emotional reactions versus our emotional responses. So after that, Also joining the Cancer lineup on Monday the 9th. It's very boom, boom, boom. Beginning of the month here. Jupiter moves into Cancer, like I mentioned at the very beginning. Now, Jupiter will be in Cancer until June 2026. First and foremost, Jupiter is considered to be exalted in Cancer. So, connecting to what I said about Venus being at home or in its domicile when it's in Taurus, because Venus rules Taurus, so it's considered to be at home in that sign. In that same vein, but on high, if you will, is the exaltation. So this is when a planet is it's not in a sign that it rules. Jupiter does not rule Cancer. It is because of the qualities of Jupiter and because of the qualities of Cancer. Essentially, this is a place that Jupiter can not only feel comfortable, but potentially function even higher, potentially even more efficiently. And it's like Cancer's got all the right stuff in all the right places that Jupiter needs to do some of its best work. Nothing, and I cannot fucking emphasize this enough, nothing in astrology is black or white when it comes to interpretations. There is no such thing as a good essential dignity over another. And that's what I'm talking about. These are called the essential dignities. These dignities where planets, it refers to how a planet functions in a sign. And it's essentially the signs that planets act or function very, very high, very, very well, very, very comfortably, and the signs that planets can struggle, have to learn more. It doesn't approach things in that natural mode of thinking. So there can be a lot of challenge, there can be a lot of learning and hardship. The reason why it's not black or white, one is good and one is bad. Oh, when a planet is in exaltation, it's good. And when a planet is in its fall, it's bad. And I will disagree. I mean, every day, it's a hill I will die on. I will disagree with any astrologer that tries to tell me that one is good and one is bad. Because once again, it is the way in which we embody these transits, this astrological information. When a planet is in fall or in detriment, is in those signs that it struggles in, it can be some of our greatest soul growth. There is time and time again, when you take the whole chart into consideration, when you take the soul timeline into consideration, there's a purpose for those struggles. There's a reason. There's benefit and reward and growth to be gained from moving through that challenge and hardship. There is never, like, just as much as I disagree with straight up like fear mongering in this industry and people saying like, oh, when this planet moves into this sign, everything's going to be terrible. Watch the fuck out. I also as equally disagree with someone saying Jupiter's going to be in Cancer, everything's going to be wonderful and perfect and sunshine and rainbows. It just doesn't work that way. Our lives, our very being, at its very most core, this entire fucking universe reflects it all around us all the time, and everything in her, even just in our biology, reflects this all the time. That we are complex, that things are layered, that what we once thought and saw as binary usually ends up being, nope, it's this whole other multi-layered, multifaceted thing in and of itself. So it's very, very often just two sides of the same coin. And when we see Jupiter in Cancer exalted, what I'm hoping to see in this Jupiter in Cancer chapter over this next year, I'm hoping to see an emphasis on nurturing community, nurturing our loved ones, nurturing our home. I want to envision us having feasts and picnics with the people that we consider friends and family. I want to see this as a time of giving. The bottom line is all of that, yes, yes, yes. And we're going to see increased sensitivities. Increased sensitivity in and of itself is going to have another both and to consider. Increased sensitivity is not a bad thing. And increased sensitivity can be extremely overwhelming and draining. We are going to see lessons on boundaries, my friend. When we have a Cancer transit, a big Cancer transit, we are talking about the crab in the crab shell. There is going to be lessons on boundaries, especially because Jupiter, a gaseous planet, which is so beautifully poetic. I love astronomical and astrology poetry like this, because Jupiter, being this gaseous planet that it is, in so many ways is a very boundless planet. That's why one of the signs that it rules, Pisces, is also very, very boundless. Sagittarius, the other sign that it rules. Sagittarius is known for breaking down and moving past and beyond boundaries and horizons. So Jupiter is one for breaking down, breaking through boundaries. Cancer brings this added lesson of yes to all of that, right? Like that vulnerability of removing certain boundaries and blockages can be extremely rewarding for Cancer. Cancer also brings the lesson of the boundaries that are necessary, why the shell exists, and that protective nature of this sign. So there will definitely be lessons on boundaries during this transit. And also the give and take in relationships and balancing emotion and logic. The people or ourselves that struggle with letting our emotions rule us, we will very likely experience some lessons in those patterns, and learning to balance emotion and logic. Now, just a beautiful, easy transition into the next transit from Jupiter in Cancer. This brings us to Wednesday, June 11th, which is going to be our full moon in Sagittarius, which again, Jupiter rules. We will talk more about full moon in Sag when it comes. But this is a mutable or adaptive and very resourceful sign and energy. All of the mutable signs bring us adaptation, resourcefulness, flexibility, and fluidity. In Sag, we specifically bring mutable fire energy. This is adventure. This is greater and higher learning. This is big risk, big reward energy. Now, this is going to bring us to the following week on Tuesday, June 17th, when Mars enters Virgo. And Mars is going to be in Virgo from June 17th until August 6th. We are efficient. Mars in Virgo, efficiency takes a very, very high priority. We are driven. We are communicative. We are motivated to improve, refine, perfect. And in that same breath, burnout is real. Don't forget, you're an earth being with capacities. A lot of us can see an uptick in some efficiency and like really getting some shit done when Mars is in Virgo. And some of us can see a really big uptick in our burnout. It's very, very easy to overload ourselves. It's easy to overestimate. It's easy to bite off more than we can chew. Don't forget that you're an earth being with real capacities that deserve to be honored. Now, this is going to bring us to Friday, June 20th, which is Cancer season, okay? Summer solstice. The sun is going to be in Cancer from June 20th until July 22nd, which is when we will move into Leo season, and we'll say happy 4th birthday to That Witch podcast. Now, summer solstice energy, this peak kind of in a solar way full moon period of our year, of our overall year of seasons. Now, Cancer energy is going to be pretty ramped up by this point, okay? This is going to feel welcome for some, and this is going to feel overwhelming for others. And I must stress yet again by this point, maybe make a note of it if you're able to, emotional regulation, emotional safety, emotional intelligence are all helpful for everyone during this time. Whether you are a person who is like in your element during all of this watery Cancer energy, or you are a person who is overwhelmed by it, I promise you that emotional regulation, emotional safety, and emotional intelligence are a benefit for all. This is going to take us into our new moon in Cancer, which will be on Wednesday, June 25th. So this is going to be a very watery new moon. There will be lots of Cancer energy at that time. And this is going to be a naturally introspective new moon. We'll talk about it more at that time, but I see this as being a really wonderful new moon for tying off loose ends, lovingly closing chapters with things or people that need to be lovingly closed finally, and taking that beautiful step into opening yourself up in that, yes, scary, vulnerable, but rewarding emotional way that can be the Cancer crab coming out of the shell a little bit, all right? Now, finally, to round out the month of June, on Thursday the 26th, so the day after the new moon in Cancer, Mercury's going to move into Leo, which I love this. We've just got like Cancer this whole month. And then Mercury is going to move into Leo. Mercury only stays in a sign for a couple of weeks, like you've seen. So, for example, Mercury is going to be in Cancer in June, from June 8th until June 26th. Mercury is going to be in Leo from June 26th until September 2nd, because Mercury is going to do a retrograde cycle in there, which is going to elongate its stay or its chapter in Leo energy. This is going to be a big step into bold, heart-led leadership, big hair, big fire energy that Leo brings us. This is going to help us, this initial first step at the end of this month of Mercury moving into Leo, this is going to help us really set the tone for our upcoming 2025 Leo season. So Leo placements, look alive, my friend. This was so wonderful. I love spending the first moon day of the month with you, my friend. Let me know if you have any questions on any of this. Thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. Cheers to you. Thank you for being a neighbor of mine. I can't wait to see you next time on our next episode of That Witch podcast. If you loved this show or you already love this show, please share with a friend. This is we are growing this community, my friend, and I promise you, the easiest way to do that is the free way, which is just shouting us out on social media, tagging me, tagging the show, just simply sharing a screenshot of the show and a link to a friend to listen to as well, forwarding an email of mine to someone who you think would enjoy it. But we are bringing more and more of this grounded spirituality, this practical modern witchcraft and cosmic living to the world. You're all a part of it, and I'm so grateful. All right, my friend, until I see you soon, make sure that you're out there staying safe. You're, of course, letting yourself have some fun, and stay magical, my friend. What is That Witch School? That Witch School is my magical monthly membership that combines safe, welcoming, nurturing community with quality, ethical witchcraft and astrology education. This is like Patreon meets social media, but better. We have monthly calls hosted and guided by myself, as well as multiple instructors within our school. An incredibly beautiful and supportive community of like-minded witches, all built from the neighbors within our neighborhood right here. Plus, there is a just astounding library of resources and content that is always growing, and so much more. You can go back and listen to my episode on the podcast called Welcome to That Witch School 2025 for all kinds of details and information on the membership, the different plans you can subscribe for, pricing, and frequently asked questions, everything that you need to know. Or you can always send me a direct message or email if you ever have any questions. You can get my contact information in the show notes below. And when you're ready to join us, you can go to thatwitchschool.com and find the plan that works for you and join our magical community today.